Greetings and welcome to another day out in the landscape. A few videos ago, quite a few videos ago now, I talked about visiting a photography show here in England to go and investigate a full frame itch that had been in my head. Today, I'm going to reveal the result of that visit. If you haven't seen that video, I'll leave a link to it in the description below. But in that video, I talked about why I would want to add a full frame system into the kit that I have. And a lot of people commented on that video about the fact that I'd be introducing a huge amount of weight. The holy trinity of lenses would be an additional weight in my bag, and all the advantages that I had over owning and using an Olympus system, they would all evaporate. And yeah, I get all of that, but this is my itch to scratch. So before people start shouting and screaming at the screen and leaving me comments to that effect, please just consider the fact that this is my decision to make. And it's very similar to my move to Olympus in 2013. So I moved from Canon to Olympus. But what I did was I investigated what was available on the market. I went and purchased an Olympus body and an Olympus lens. And I went out into the landscape and I used that camera and that lens. And I did it in order for me to make sure that I was making the right decision and making the right investment. And you know what? If it wasn't the right investment, then okay, fine. But at least I would sell that camera on eBay or Facebook Marketplace or whatever, knowing that I had owned one, used one, and made a decision based on that experience. I kind of feel that without owning and without having the experience of using, that itch will always be there. Now, for those of you that did view that video, you will remember there were 3 brands that I investigated, and they were Canon, Sony, and the surprise was Sigma. I also wanted to take a look at Panasonic, but I couldn't because Panasonic weren't at the show. Some of you asked about Nikon. Unfortunately, I had a very bad experience with Nikon and their after-sales service. And having been on the end of that after-sales service, I vow that I would never buy a piece of Nikon kit ever again because, well, basically they treated me atrociously. So it was a decision between Canon, Sony, and Sigma. So which one did I go for? Let's see if I can get the pan right this time round. Oh, yes, I can. And the one that I went for was the Sigma FP-L, which is a modular full frame camera. At the show, the contemporary 28-70 f2.8 was on offer. I can't remember how much was off it, but I got that lens as well at the same time, and that gave me a camera body and a lens to actually go and have a play with. I guess the big question is why go for the Sigma over the Canon or the Sony. And let's just shuffle myself so that I'm also in here. Bear with me a minute. Let's go that way, go that way, go that way, go that way. There we go. There we go. And I'm in shot with the camera as well. So why the Sigma? Why not Sony or Canon? I was really tempted by the Canon. I mean, really tempted. Lovely camera, well built. I did find the menu a little bit of a faff to get round. I got there eventually, don't get me wrong, but I did find it a little bit of a faff. I'm sure it's one of those things I'll just get used to. But the price of the Canon was, let's just say, considerable. Let's just leave it at that. And you know, you get what you pay for. You are getting a camera with a lot of functions and features that you're not getting with this one, and I get that. The Sony, the bit that I couldn't get past was the way that when you got hold of the grip, the way that Sony lenses are, this kind of, they flare out, and my knuckles hit the lens every time I got hold of the camera. And that was just something I couldn't get past. I think it's going to be one of those things that gets on my nerves, especially when I'm wearing thick gloves. Although that, you know, the gloves will protect my fingers. I don't know. I couldn't get past it. It was something that bothered me. This just felt right in my hand. I love the screen on the back. Let me spin it round. It's got an absolutely massive LCD screen, which is beautiful to look at, beautiful to touch. It also comes with a modular EVF, which sticks out on the side, and you can tilt it up and down. Yes, you can't twist it from side to side, and no, the screen doesn't articulate. That was one thing that was against this camera, if I'm being perfectly honest with you. But I did sit there and think, right, so with my Olympus kit, how many times do I articulate the screen when the camera's in portrait format? Not really all that often. So do you know what? What is the hardship with getting down on one knee every time that I want to do that? Not a lot, not a huge amount of hardship. Right, okay, I can deal with that then. It's relatively lightweight. The screen inside the EVF is absolutely beautiful, crisp and bright. Also, just the way the camera is set up. I'd like to say it's a landscape photographer's camera. I can't really say why, but it just is. The way the things are laid out, and the quick menu functions that are available, they are the functions that a landscaper would use. So, you know, things like ISO, frame size, shutter delay, those are all the things that a landscaper is going to home in on and manipulate. And they're just there. I don't have to go and set a custom menu to find them. They're just there. But the more I picked up the camera and played with it, the more I thought, do you know what? I really quite like. I like the system. I like the quirky nature. And to be fair, that was one of the reasons why I went with the Olympus. It was different. It was small, it was compact, it offered functions and features that I could use out in the landscape. And that is exactly the same with this particular camera here. Now, having said that, now I've used this camera for a period of time, there are things that I don't like. I've found ways around them, so that they're not things that are going to get in the way. And to be fair, when I had the Olympus system, I found the same idiosyncrasies. There were things about the system that made me think, oh, I wish. But, you know, you're going to find that with any system that you buy into. So, yeah, it's a nice camera system. It's definitely a landscaper's camera system. And I am thoroughly enjoying using it. And I shall continue to use it. Worth noting that it's natively, it's an L mount camera in terms of lenses. So they're the L mount lenses. You can also get an adapter that'll allow you to take any Canon EF lenses. And I have actually tried this camera and the adapter with the EF lenses that one of my photography friends has got, and they all worked. And how many Canon EF lenses are out there, either new or second-hand? So the range of lenses that I can use with this are absolutely mind-boggling. However, I am not going to leap into purchasing lenses. I'm going to live with this 28-70 lens and make up my mind as to whether this is the right thing for me to go with. Worth pointing, I have actually printed out an image from this camera, and the detail that was in the print was staggering. I have got no issues whatsoever with the image quality from the Olympus system, none at all. But I didn't really realize what 60 odd megapixels would give me until I printed the image out. And you see what you're getting, you really do, when you print out using an image from this camera. Now, does that mean I'm going to dump Olympus? No, not in the slightest. My original intention was that, oh, it's deep down in the bag, that I would have this system for those occasions where wherever I'm going to is, you know, a short walk from the car or a normal walk from the car or wherever it is that I'm staying. And I would use the Olympus system for long walks, you know, fell climbs, that sort of thing. So their uses would be interchangeable. However, now I've used this camera for a short length of time, what I've noticed I've done is I've framed up this camera on a scene, and I felt, okay, so I'll just wait for the light. And whilst I'm waiting for the light, I've left this camera in place, and then I've got the Olympus out and handheld and gone and explored the rest of the location or around wherever this is positioned, and you know, and made the most of its weight, its stabilization, the 12 to 100 lens, and you know, and you can handhold and use filters. You don't have to put it on a tripod, even though I have got a little lightweight tripod that this video camera is on. So in fact, I'm using the strengths of the two systems at the same time, which is something that I didn't plan to do. It's just a pattern that I've fallen into. So I'm currently trying to arrange my bag in such a way that I can have a full frame system and the Olympus system and use it to its strengths to add to my photography. And I'm really, really enjoying it. Now, there are going to be people that say, oh, Hugh, for goodness sake, you're wasting your time. The Olympus can do everything that this one does. And you're absolutely right. But I love the way that this is set up. I love the image quality, and I'm just thoroughly enjoying using it. I'm thoroughly enjoying the interchangeability of the two things. Ultimately, whether I stick with it or not, that's my decision to make. And I will continue to go out into the landscape and play with it and use it and print from it. And I will probably do it till mid-year next year. And then I will make a decision. The decision will be, do I carry on with this and make some investment in some additional lenses, or do I stick with Olympus? Who knows? I can't tell you right now. At the minute, I'm thoroughly enjoying using both systems, and I will continue to use both systems. There we go. We'll have to find out. You'll have to wait for another video. I haven't made a decision. I couldn't even begin to tell you which way I'm going to go right now. My gut says to me, I'll use both. And if I do that, I will probably take the advice that some of you have given me and invest in an EM5 Mark III, which is effectively an EM1 in a lighter body, and then go and get the 12 to 200 lens or something like that. Or there's a 14 to 150 Mark II, isn't there? Just reduce the weight down a little bit, but keep the flexibility, keep all of the functions, so that I can continue to do what I've just described. Who knows? I honestly haven't got a clue, but I'm really pleased with my purchase right now. It's lovely. Anyway, right, I'm going to wrap this one up here. Please do leave some comments below. Please, please, please do, but bear in mind though, right, this is my decision. I am interested in your thoughts on my decision, but criticizing me for my decision is, well, it's not really the order of the day, is it? So just please bear that in mind, my decision to make, but I am interested in your points of view. Anyway, right, I'm going to go. Looks like the sky is brightening up, so I shall go and make the most of the day. If you're not a subscriber, do consider subscribing. And if you've liked the content, do give it a thumbs up. Until the next one, I shall see you soon. Please take care. Please stay safe. Bye for now.